people. Nice warm Sunday evening, Wednesday evening. I'm not talking about Sunday. Getting too chilled. Another Mandem Chat edition this week. You know, we're carrying on in our sound system legacy kind of thing we've been doing over the last few months. Today we have special guest Charles Morgan in the house, aka Milton Irie.
Evening.
Done lots of things in the business. Sound system owner, DJ, MC, founder of Jamrock Media, and his new venture, Clash Faternity. Also, hard to work with the youths around Luton, doing mentoring and all sorts of things. Welcome to Mandem Chat, Charles.
Yeah, man. Welcome, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
No
Welcome, Charles. Welcome.
Bless up.
You want to take it from the beginning, Charles? Give me some background details, you know?
It depends where you want to start, bro.
Right from the beginning, from you, school.
Yeah, man, from the beginning.
Parents, background, all of that.
Yeah, background. London born. Moved to Luton early 70s. Father passed away 1965. Hence the move, really. I think it was more mum needed to get away from the environment, you know?
Yeah.
So coming Luton, we went to, what school did we go first? Dalla Road. Yeah, went Dalla Road School. And then we went on to Beach Hill, which I think Beach Hill was very, I think Beach Hill was the place that I kind of started to know myself, because it was very heavily cultured at the time when it comes to black people and oneness and togetherness and all of
Are we
that.
talking
You
sort of mid-70s kind of thing or late
70s?
70s?
Yeah, 70s, yeah. So yeah, I was there. I left school in 1981. Yeah, 81.
Yeah.
And got involved in music. But I was actually kind of involved prior to that, because what it was, my brother, he had a love for electronics and stuff like that. So he would always kind of pull things apart in the house, you know, the radiogram, take it out, take the amplifier out, put it in its own case and use it as his own amp and all these kind of things. And he used to also link man like, I don't know if you know Jeffrey Richards. You know Jeffrey Richards?
No, I don't know him.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, but Jeffrey was also quite similar to my brother, but he was slightly older, and we lived in the Dalla Road Park area. So we was sort of Naseby Road, which is about 5 roads down. Jeffrey lived on the actual road of the park. So it weren't too far. So then man, they used to always be fooling around with electronics and all kinds of things. So my brother, being older than me now, he started to go to dance and them thing there he literally left school. But being the only two of us as boys, it kind of opened the door for me to go out from early, if you get what I mean. So I kind of remember the days of going to places like Civic. I don't even know if you guys even know Civic. Civic is you know, when you go in the town center and you go in front of Starlight, you got that church looking building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Civic theater. They used to hold dances in there.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they used to hold dances.
Okay.
So I would go to dances like Civic. I would also go Starlight, Donkey Pen, all of these places. I would be sneaking in young with my brother, because my brother was older than me, you see. You get me? So around the time as well, what we used to do is like, we used to have these little house parties, like me and my brethren, them, you know, school friends. Like if there's like we're off school, probably half term, we'd have a little party somewhere, and my brother would bring a little set, you know what I mean? And everyone would bring records, you know, and do what we do. So that's what kind of got me into sound system, if you get what I mean. then after we left school now, them days, it weren't even a case of man's going college or looking work. It was kind of hard. It weren't quite like now where everyone had a kind of progression path. When they leave school, they kind of go into college and then they progress to uni. It was nothing like that. You was very privileged if you got that kind of education, if you know what I mean. So, you know, like my sister, she got that, but then to fund the whole family for that, it wasn't possible.
Yeah. Was there not no apprenticeships going at the time, like the YTS and that? Did that come later on?
No, I don't even think there was. That you're talking early 80s.
I suppose
Right, okay.
I suppose if you got like a link down at Vauxhall or Skeffco,
Yeah, or something like that, you get
slide in them way there. But if you haven't,
yeah, generally it was a bit.
tricky. Yeah,
it was a bit of a myth, you know what I mean? So obviously at the time, my brother, he managed to work. He managed to get himself a job, and he was working in an iron foundry. I mean, he done that for about, from what I can remember, I think he must have done that for about a year or so. But then he gave it up because he used to come home like covered in black soot, and it was just, to be honest, I don't even think those conditions would be allowed in this day and age, if you know what I mean.
That bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. It was that bad. So anyway, he gave that up. So we used to go around to my sister, who used to live on Ash Road, my older sister. She now lives in London. So we used to go around her house and just sort of chill, you know, as the day goes by. And she used to live with another friend of hers, which, funny enough, was Nick's mum, which we was talking about just now. So they used to live together. So we used to go around there, play music, chill, wherever. So we decided we was going to have a party. So we put on this party the night, and it was myself, I don't know, Kenneth Edwards. I don't know if you know Kenneth, Henry Blucher, Spencer, Butts. We was all from the same age group, all went to school together, Beach Hill. So we had a little sound. We started a little sound together because we was doing these little parties prior. And my brother kind of provided the set and the music and this and that. So we was like a little clique. Then at the time, I didn't even know these guys, but my brother knew Fritz, Clifton, all of them man there. So they decided they was going to have a little bit of a tool sound in our house. Yeah.
So this is
yeah, you know, like a proper tool sound, one string up in the back room, one in the front, and you know what I mean? And then Tyler was really young, so that's what happened. But what it was is that true, my brother had this kind of background that he did. He had access to like big speakers and amplifiers and all of these kind of things. And these guys turned up with like stereo amps and, you know what I mean? So it was if you can understand what happened, yeah? Lightweight. So
radio transistor.
Yeah, so on the night now, the rest, you know the rest, how it go. So when it finished now, we kind of all sat down and said, do you know what? Let's do this. All of us together.
What was it called? What was the sound called? Your school friends?
Phonics.
Oh, that was Phonics.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Phonics. So we was Phonics. I can't even remember the name of the other sound. I've been trying to even find out. Because it was one of them one-off situations. It kind of, they played the one time, and because it didn't work out, we all kind of came together.
Yeah.
So at this time, there was like loads of us talking about 20 of us playing sound together. And the maddest thing is like, everything happened really fast, and we started to get bookings, and the popularity got out there very, 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 very quick. When I say quick, I mean quick. Yeah. So we started to play all over the place, Bedford, all over. And then it all came to a bit of an abrupt end because we all we got in trouble for different things, and everyone kind of dispersed, if you know what I mean.
How long did the sound last for?
I think the sound probably lasted for about 2-3 years.
Yeah, I heard you once.
You did, yeah?
Very young, yeah, in Starlight.
In
Did you
Starlight.
did you MC
Yeah.
on that sound? Charles.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. This is and you know the maddest thing, it was
You had
Starlight
a big crew. You had a big crew. You lot had a kind of bad man rep, if I can remember.
Yeah, you're right. We did.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
No, we did. And the thing is, in that space of time, we played literally every big sound in the country. Literally, we played with Fat Man. We played with at the time it was, what's that sound from? We played with Frontline. That's it. We played with Frontline. We played with Coxon.
Big sound.
We played with a lot of big sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we kind of held our own.
Hold on, who's that?
That's all right.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead. So
Yeah, so we played with quite a few sounds, and we kind of held our own. So you know, at the time, things was we were doing well, and in terms of even Luton, we kind of got to a stage where we was like up there, because the sounds that was prior before us was Falcon, Gemini. I don't think Freedom was about at the time, and we played with Falcon in Starlight. And that was where I think Falcon's career kind of went a bit downhill, because we literally, you know, as youths, fresh energy. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
That was it.
What was your sorry, let me just ask you quickly. What was your MC name?
Oh, Milton Irie.
Milton Irie.
Yeah. But before that, they used to call me Duffus Irie, but I didn't really like it. They took it from one of, I think it was one of Coxon's, a member of Coxon. They gave me that name, but I didn't like it. But my brethren Roddy, no, Christy, I don't know if you know him, but he always used to say, you move militant. That's his thing. That's what he used to say to me. So I kind of just used it, put a little twist on it, and that's where the name came from. But anyway, we were doing what we were doing for a good period of time, and we all got in a little bit of trouble. I think it was a case of we were young and we was doing well, and it all kind of went to our heads, if you know what I mean. So we kind of got a little bit gassed, you know.
Star boy
you know, if we're going to
mentality.
talk things as it is, innit?
Yeah,
So we all got a little bit gassed about it, and we all got in trouble. And I think after that, it kind of dispersed, you know. And yeah, that's how the whole sound system thing came about. But I don't know, for some reason, I just couldn't leave it alone. So in 1991, I built Upper Class. So yeah, I built Upper Class in 91. Yeah,
Upper Class sound.
Yeah, because what happened is, between that time, I kind of went away. I was working, got my head down, had youths. Do you know what I mean? So I learned a trade. So I learned to do carpentry, and that. And then I built the sound. I literally built the boxes. I did everything from scratch. So that was that in 1991. And again, what happened is that then also started to make a bit of a name for itself, which I think we was on the circuit for a good, till about early 2000s.
Yeah, man, Upper Class was all right still.
Yeah, so we, you know what I mean, we was doing our thing for some time.
In the juggling era, how did you find entering that juggling era?
I think it was, I don't know, for some reason, I think we kind of found it quite. You mean you're talking Upper Class now?
Yeah. Because you're coming from Rubber Dog Foundation, isn't it?
Yeah, so, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, we found it quite easy. Because if I remember right, we had Beanie. He could mix.
Yeah.
I think Lloyd could mix quite well at the time as well.
Yeah.
Warm and easy.
Yeah, warm and easy. And I don't know. I think, again, I feel like I've got one of them voices that kind of stand out in a dance.
Yeah.
So I think the combination was pretty good, and that kept us going for a good few years. But then what happened is I had more children, and I decided I had to kind of get my head down.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So I kind of left the sound thing to Beanie to deal with, and the sound ended up as a resident in Penthouse,
Yeah,
which was Scully's club. So yeah, so that was that. But then, you know, as I said, I kind of got my head down, and then I started a business, and that took up a lot of my time, and that took me away from the sound system for a little while. So
before we open the floor to some questions, so what I'm going to do, Charles, we're going to sort of talk about the sound system thing, and then we'll open up and ask if anyone wants to ask a question around that. And then we'll start talking about, you know, obviously the radio and all the other stuff you've been doing.
yeah.
What I wanted to ask you is about the DJing, because you know you were a DJ in it on sound,
just said that.
You know, and well, MC kind of thing, in it. You know.
Oh, you mean lyrically?
Lyrically, yeah. And I remember.
I heard you was good.
I remember being at the DJ Jamboree. I remember going to the DJ Jamboree at 50. I think.
Oh, was you there?
Yes, man.
Is this? Hold on. Is this the Fraggle Rock?
Very young. Very
Is this
young.
the Fraggle Rock lyric?
Yeah.
The lyrics with Fraggle Rock in it.
Yeah, I think I might have been about 15 at the time. Yeah. Want to talk a little bit about that? Yeah, that was a bit controversial, wasn't it? I remember it being controversial.
From what I understand, it was a little bit controversial.
Yes.
The you know, at the time,
not being very happy at the time.
With me?
No, yeah.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? There was a conversation. I think it was in what's the pub in town at the time?
Breakers.
Mm. Myself and Devon McPherson.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Devon. Devon was saying to me, we were talking, and I was like, this DJ thing, I'm like, I don't really know if I really want to do it. And he said, like, bro, people are not gonna rate you unless you go in there and do what you gotta do, innit?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So I said to myself, try. So I did it. And I came second. So it was I think Fritz came first, myself was second, and Malachi came third. Yeah, he was what was his name again? Federal at the time.
Can you remember who else entered?
There was Blade.
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
Tony Dread.
Hammer, yeah.
No, Hammer. I don't think Hammer did. I think it was Blade, Tony Dread.
Nightmare.
I think that was it, you know.
Yeah, so all was missing was Robbie, really. You needed to kind of.
Yeah, that's right. It was only Robbie. It was the only one that was on the circuit at the time that wasn't in it. Yeah.
That was probably due to politics and all of that in it, I should imagine.
Yeah, but you know, at that time, I think they were in a different league, weren't they? The way they were handling their business was a bit slightly different, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came second to that. It was controversial because a lot of people say to me, "You should have won that lyrically."
Yeah.
I personally, I think I won it lyrically.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, because like, look what Skipper said. Straight away, Skipper said Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, remember, yeah, exactly.
It's something that stuck in your head. Whereas I feel like the rest of the DJs, what they had to say on the night was neither here or there. Not that they didn't have lyrics, but it's about it people being able to remember it, and at the end of the day, that's my thinking.
So did you DJ that lyrics on that night then? So
yeah, I did, yeah. I did, because to me is what's going on at the time. It was just, you know, the youth then was, you know, like the kids in the house, that's what they like to watch. Yeah. And at the time as well, I think one of the things that was against me is because it was the actual event was held by Gemini.
Right.
They actually held the event. Again, Malachi and Fritz were both a part of Gemini. So to me, the odds were stacked against me. And even at the time, you had Saxon that was running England. And you had, it was a bit of a divide in the terms of the way people listened to dancehall at the time. You had man that was listening to the hardcore yard vibes, and then you had man that was listening to the UK. Do you know what I mean? And I feel at the time, Sovereign was one that was into the UK. Me personally, I was into the UK at the time. So I feel like my lyrics didn't really resonate, or my delivery didn't really resonate with the people that was putting on the event, you know, or the judges. But one of the things that did happen is I said to, I think it was Philip Rose at the time, or I think it was, who was the other lady? Sister Rosie. So I would say, like, so tell me why you think I didn't win that. And the answer was my appearance. That was the answer. My appearance. And that kind of struck me, like, because, you know, man came on in dark glasses and hat and all these things, and I just went there as me. If you get what I mean.
So what's that got to do with
my appearance, innit? It's a performance, innit?
Image.
It's image. Do you see what I mean?
Interesting.
So at the time, I was kind of like, but when you think about it, yeah, I suppose it's a performance, isn't it? So it is what it is, you know. But yeah.
Anyone got any questions for Charles regarding sound system, phonics, upper class, DJ, and anything like that?
Right. Can I ask a quick one? Yeah.
Yes,
Charles, when it comes to the sound system, the DJing and that, who was your inspiration? Which DJ of the day did you look on and see doing his thing that made you say, you know what, I want to grab that mic and start mash up some dance myself?
What are you saying? What, UK wise?
Well,
or just general?
All right. Give me UK, and then give me whether it's Cross the Waters, whether it's a Jamaican artist or whatever other artist.
I think UK wise, there was two. There was Papa Levi, and there was Maccabee.
Okay.
Them two men there.
Yeah.
To me, there was no one in the UK.
Jamaica side?
On the Jamaica side, coming from my history and that, we used to listen to man like Nicodemus and them kind of man there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So so this is my view on
Okay. No worries.
Yeah. You know, I don't even know. Man probably even heard a tune from Nicodemus from Donkeys or
man.
Nicodemus Lee.
Did you ever record anything? Sorry, Skipper Spencer.
Yeah,
did you ever record a track and release any songs? Trey.
Nah.
Trey, that's my son, Charles.
Nah, not at all.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to clash anybody lyrically in the town?
Lyrically, no, not really.
No, it was just that competition.
Just that one competition. I mean, if you're talking clash, not like that. There was many a times where we've clashed. Do you know what I mean? For argument's sake, when we was on Phonics, I remember playing with Gemini. This was the first Gemini. And it got to a stage where myself, Fritz, and I think Kenneth Edwards, they used to call him Riddle at the time. We had it locked, that dance locked, till I remember that this is from what I understand, the sound kind of went like, what's going on? The whole sound kind of started to flake. And the understanding behind it was that the man them from the other sound went behind the speakers and twist the wires. You get me?
They pin the wire.
They kill because we were giving them hell. Yeah, but I mean, more time we used to string up the sound you just twist the wire at the back of the box. So it was easy to get to. You just shorten them out and the whole of the sound would just start faking out. You know what I mean? The sound would just go down.
Yeah, you just cross the wires, innit? That's it.
That's it. So that's it. So that's what happened there. So in that situation, if you want to say clash, I think that was a night when we kind of went to battle, man. Because I think Gemini even had MCs from London, a guy called Yabby, and there was someone else I can't even remember. But we came prepared. We even had lyrics for him. Do you understand? So this is where it kind of got a bit, you know. But yeah, that was a wicked dance. That was a wicked dance.
So Charles, you mentioned Fritz there.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Fritz, man. You know what I mean? So he was in Phonics before we went to Gemini. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sensi BC. I should imagine.
Sensi, that's it. That's right.
Is that what they called it?
Because it was Rizla and Sensi.
Oh. Nice.
And then I came after.
Yeah.
They were the two first MCs on the sound, and I came after.
So who else was in the sound? Because you said you was about 20 man strong.
Oh, there was loads of us.
Kind of moving like the Venus lot, you know what I mean? Who was in that?
we had Water.
Stefan was in there, yeah.
Stefan, yeah. There was Stefan, there was Fritz, there was his brother Derek, there was Colin Murray, Dennis Murray, Bilal, myself, my brother, Kenneth Edwards, Henry Blucher, Bigger Dread.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bigger Dread came from Phonics. There was loads of us. Wally, Elder Wally.
Yeah.
We had Bingy Bonnie. We had Nolan. We had Kung. There was so much of us.
Wow. There
was loads of us.
Big crew.
Yeah, it's a young man's strength, though, isn't it? It's like
man. There was a lot of us. There was a lot of us. Yeah, those were the days, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, even my journey in sound has never been as exciting as those days. Because I felt like everything just flowed. Sorry. Yo.
Charles, was your sound called Stereophonics or Phonics?
Phonics.
Because there was a sound called Stereophonics as well, weren't they?
No, not in Luton.
Yeah, they were from
London.
Yeah, they were Brixton sound. Chubba sound. Anyone else got a question for Charles?
Along the sound system venue.
I've got one. I just don't want to be the one talking all the time, but I've got one. I think it's pertinent. I should ask who was sort of your rivals in the upper class days, and who was sort of like the best dances, like most memorable dance, I should say, for
upper class.
Upper class, yeah.
I wouldn't even say rivals. You know, it would have been Sovereign. And again, yourselves, Turning Point, you guys were on the road at the time. But I don't think those days I really saw it as a rivalry in comparison to the days prior, if you get what I mean.
Upper class wasn't really a clash sound, though, was it? It was more of a juggling sound, isn't it?
It was a juggling sound, but
clashing kind of went out the window by them times.
That's right.
We realised, you know, because even if I'm speaking for myself, we realised that if you wanted to get in anywhere and you want to get some bookings and get playing and track like girls, you know what I mean, we had to lift it up a little bit just by playing reggae dancehall wasn't going to do it, man. You had to be on point with your R&B, man. You have to make sure you can play some other bits as well, and
some R&B and that.
Well, it just changed.
It's party vibes, isn't it?
Otherwise, people like Yankee Squad would have just come and just yam the whole of the food and just left us out there like some.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so I wouldn't even say there was rivalry at all in that sense.
Yeah.
There was competition, but I wouldn't call it rivalry in that sense that you're at each other 24/7. it was nothing like that, to be fair.
To be honest, I think from what I remember, them time then, it was good vibes.
It was good vibes, because I even
playing.
remember times when even yourself, Skip, and Marvin and Uti would even roll with us. Certain places. I remember we even went south one night. Was you there, Warwick? I don't remember. We
I remember.
played south, and there was a bit of an issue with Uti and Sovereign. You know,
that's always.
Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't really like that. I think the Unity was kind of.
Where did you play them?
Crystal Palace.
What, Sovereign and Upper Class went to Crystal Palace and played?
Yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah, in the football club.
Yeah, I was at that one now.
Yeah, in the football club, and yeah, Uti rolled with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously something was said what shouldn't have been said.
Oh, yeah. He was good at that. He was good at that.
That's him, isn't it?
Yeah, that kind of got a little bit out of hand, but
yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Look,
to be honest with you, the first time I even met Uti, he was playing with Warm and Easy in
Freedom.
Nah, what's that club under the bridge? It's the gym now.
Oh, what? By
Leagueways. Hemingways.
Yeah, it would have probably been under Freedom or under Turning Point, because Lloyd was in Freedom. I come to Lloyd's actually on it. I came into Freedom and Lloyd was already there with Cess, Uti, Major, Sean, and all of that was there already. Then we kind of broke away, started Turning Point with Lloyd and Vigi and Uti. That's how it kind of
went. That's the first time I've met
yeah, because Hemingway's was only around the corner from my yard, so I kind of played in there quite a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Lloyd wants to share it. You want to share anything?
He's got a question there. Jump in, Lloyd.
Come in, Lloyd. Turn on your mic, man.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Oh, God.
You're a bit crackly, mate.
A bit crackly, coming up on the road, busy.
All right.
Big up everybody. Yeah, man, I just joined the conversation just about 5 minutes ago because I was at work. But yeah, I heard Charles picking up. I picked up a bit of what Charles said about back in the day with sound system, and we wasn't really a clash sound, it was a juggling sound. But them days there, it was all about entertaining the crowd with the music what you played.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's more about the man on the mic. You know, but yeah, those were the days, man. I met Charles I know Charles from when Phonics days. Yeah, I saw you mentioned Phonics. And then from there, we met at Hemingway's. And you're right, Warwick. Yeah, I think the storylines sound good, man. Yeah. So
it was with I did meet Uti with you tonight.
That's right. Remember, he come and hold
because he had a patch on his eye or something. Yeah, that's right.
He been in a fight or something. But I thought, when this man I go with this big patch over his eye, but I heard the rumors that he was a good mic man. So I thought, I'm giving you a chance, and he sounded good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then from there, Charles joined up with me, and then after a while we decided we could build our own sound instead of playing on other people's set.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's right.
And as far as I'm concerned, even though I play out as a sound now and then, an individual, but it's nothing like it was back then, man. Sound system days back then with Sovereign, Turning Point, Freedom, Falcon, and all the ones before that, like Capital T. People seem to forget about those sound that set the foundation as well before us, Capital T, Ital Earthquake, which became Freedom Studio.
Do you know what? Talking about that, there's something vital that I missed. What I just want to relay and go back to. Yeah. When we see Phonics sound, like I explained, it was two set of man that came together. Then later on, what happened is Father Wally, he had access to Earthquake.
Yeah, he had the preamp and everything.
He had the whole sound.
Yeah.
So this is how us as youths managed to get ourselves to where we was very quickly because Wally had a sound.
Oh, you're talking about phonics?
Phonics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wally had Earthquake. And Earthquake, to be honest with you, when Earthquake was on point, Earthquake could play.
Definitely.
It could actually, the actual set could play. But again, like my brother and Roddy and them, man, they kind of was good with the electronics, so they tweak it up here and there. We got it to sound like proper, you know. But again, like I said, we was a little bit unruly.
I'll tell you what as well, though. Sound system in them days brought groups of people together. Those are togetherness. Because I remember when me and Charles started the sound, right, and we used to go around his mum's house and do jingles and that for the radio and things like that. Remember, Charles? Your brother.
Yeah.
And we built boxes. We built the boxes around by Farley Hill. We started off up there, around the back of your house.
Yeah, and then we moved it to Youth House and we built. Yeah,
man. Fun days, because you don't see those things now because people now build sound so much again. That's why you have to respect the ones that are still like Charlie Ballistic and Venus are still keeping the sound system thing going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Thanks for your input there, Lloyd. So one more question about the sound system days, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
You know, Charles has done many different things in this music game.
Just gonna mute you quickly, Lloyd, because of background noise.
Yeah, man.
Anyone else got a question? No? Okay. Yeah, so Charles, so yeah, you said that upper class kind of sort of faded out early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so family commitments.
Yeah, all them things there, yeah.
Again, yeah. So it go. Yeah. So what was the next step then?
Well, as I said, I took time out and I opened a shop in Cheapside, doing wood flooring and stuff like that. So that was like my kind of venture stroke career path, would I say. So yeah, I opened a shop in Cheapside, which was doing very well. Again, Daddy Norman was there working alongside me.
Yep.
So yeah. So that was what I did for a little while. I'd done that for a few years. I think probably about 3 years or something like that, Norman.
I remember you helped me out with my place as well, still.
But it was quite a popular
back in the day.
Huh? It was quite a popular shop.
This is what I was going to say. This is another one. It's like that again. That went off quick. That just went off. Like from the time I opened it, it just went.
Yeah.
I remember, Charles, we started together with a van.
That's right. We had 2 vans on the road. We had people working in the office.
We got the shop.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many of us working? We had what? We had Daniel, Marlon, and my missus in the shop, and then there was myself and you, Ryan, and
little Ryan, yeah.
And what's the other one?
I forget that, but I forget his name.
From Ring.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
but Ryan was from Ring as well. It was Ryan.
No, Ryan's from round.
Ryan used to live at the Ring, isn't it? Near me.
No, that's not Ryan.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
There was another brother there.
Yeah. So at the time I had like what, 7, 8 members of staff.
Yeah, you done good around there, man. You done real good.
Yeah, that was doing well, but I had to give it up. I literally run myself ragged. I woke up one morning and I couldn't breathe, and I looked in the mirror and all I could see was the back of my throat was like a little hole, and I was like, "What is going on?" Called the doctor. They said you got glandular fever. Your immune system's like just shut down. Do you know what I mean? So that was that. I kind of just had to take a step back and just knock it on the head, you know. But yeah, so that was the next thing. I did that, and then what was it after that? I got back to the music. That's what I did.
Straight back.
Always come back to the music, man.
Straight back, mate.
I went straight back to the music. That's what I did. Straight back to the music. And this time around, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a little radio station, because I felt like just the music, what was being played around me, wasn't really to my liking. You know, it's not that it wasn't there, but I just feel like the radio stations at the time, and they weren't really representing what was going on the street, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I started a radio station.
How do you mean? How do you mean not representing the street? What do you think? What, not playing like what the youths them are really feeling? You know, like, or
yeah, it wasn't even necessarily. You know.
Up.
I just think it was, not that I'm old, or I mean I'm young. Sorry, not that I'm young. It's just a case of you have to have a mixture. You got to have that. You know, you can't just be in the same vein. It don't really work, especially radio. That's my view on radio. I think it's got to be for all sorts of people. You know, not necessarily that I'm going to be playing pop or anything like that, but in terms of black culture, we have to cover everything for everybody. So that was my view on that. And again, that was another thing. Shortly after that started, that blew up.
Yeah, I remember you doing all right around there still.
Yeah, because what happened is we had Fats, and then we had some other DJs like Dirty came along. Dirty was actually a friend of my brother's friend's son. It's the first I met him though. Them times Dirty must have been about 14, something like that. So all of his age group, all of them started to come together. My son Marlon and all of them started to come together. And what happened is, someone from the council came and said, do you guys feel like doing a project with these youths? Because they saw that there was a lot of youths just hanging around. And we did it. And from there, we kind of moved from strength to strength with doing a number of different things at the radio station. You know, we did Carnival, which we won awards 3 years on the trot for the best Carnival site.
What was your site again now, Charles? That was
outside Liquid.
King Street.
No, Liquid. Gordon Street.
Gordon Street.
Gordon Street.
Yes,
Gordon
yes.
Street.
Yes.
Yeah, Gordon Street.
Yeah, that used to get lively down there, boy.
Yeah, so yeah, we won awards for that 3 years on the trot. We did the 28-day RSL. I mean, 28 when we went live for 28 days. Which again, that was an achievement. That was in 2013, I think. And the aim behind that, we was trying to get our license, but basically they came back and said there's too many licenses in the area. They've already given out the maximum amount they can in the area, and it was kind of saturated. Hence why we didn't move forward on that. You know,
you'd say you'd have diverse FM in it, and then
you got the uni, and then you got the what's the other one? Inspire. That's it. Yeah. So they're saying within the location there was too many. You know what I mean?
So that kind of threw a bit of right in a way.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But again, that was a big achievement for us to be able to actually do that. And you know, the maddest thing as well, we were getting a fight. You know what I mean? From one of the other stations, and not one of ours, but one of the other ones. And they actually reported us and said that we were conducting. There was an interview that was done one afternoon, because we was running the youth project at the same time, and we had schools that were coming in to do their lessons. So what we did, we kind of incorporated one of the school classes in one of the radio shows. So one of the presenters was asking them certain questions and whatever, and they reported us and said we was talking about sexual content while the youths was there. And the good thing is that I kind of read up on everything before I went live. So within the sorry, I just had a call trying to come in. Yeah, within the speculation and all the whatever you needed to do to go live, you have to keep your recordings up to a certain period of time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So then we had to submit this to Ofcom. They had to review it and everything, but they came back and said there was nothing to there was no. Yeah, that's right. But the reason why I said I know it was one of the other radio stations, because for Joe Public to know that you have to report certain things within a certain period of time, and all of these kind of things that was, stuff that I can't explain, but that was around it all.
Mm.
It was clear that it came from a radio station that had knowledge of having a license.
Right, they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Blaps, you got a question? You
Is
had
that,
your hand up for a while.
quickly before Blaps comes, is that station
Right.
still on the air?
Yeah, it's still on there.
They're still
Still
there.
on it. Yeah, it's still on it.
Robin and Barrow mentality.
Well, we could kind of work out who that was, innit?
Yeah, say
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
We won't mention it on there.
Yeah.
Blaps,
Blaps, go on. Got a question? Please make sure. Please don't come with the 3G phone.
I haven't got a 3G phone, you know this.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Charles. Well,
What's happening, bro? You good?
it's been a long time, man.
Yeah, man.
Last
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I was doing project youths. So that's my thing is what projects are you doing with the youths now?
Currently, I'm only working with one provision. One. Because you see, after COVID, it got peak. It just got, a lot of the provisions and the different schools and that, they're trying to keep the kids within school, whereas before they would let them go to these different places like myself. Now what they're doing is they're building their own little studios in the schools. They're building their own little, to try and keep them there, because what people don't understand is there's a price on every youth that's in school, in the sense of
funding, yeah.
funding. Yeah. So if a child is not with the school, the money should go to the person that they're with for the day, or so on. Yeah. So the schools now are looking to try and keep all the money. So they, rather than them send them to me or to another provision or anything like that, what they'll do is try and set up their own little block where they got, these are the kids that are not behaving. They've got their own little block over there where they've got their music and they've got their gym and they've got their own little thing going on. You know what I mean? So that's how it kind of became. And I thought, for what it was worth, I just didn't have the energy anymore to really keep doing it. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And the thing is, when you kind of get to a stage when you start realizing that you're putting a lot of effort into these young people, which is not a bad thing, but you're the powers that be don't pay you enough that you can take care of your own family. Do you know what I mean? You then have to start wondering, what do I do? So you start weighing things up. I mean, I've had young people that some of them have passed away since they've been with me, and they're screaming out, "Come on, let me go to Jamrock, let me go to Jamrock," and they'd be like, "No." Then next thing you know, they get into all kind of badness, lose their lives, go to prison. There's so many kids that we've worked with. It's unbelievable. We've been doing it since 2006. That's how long we was working with the kids from 2006 up to about 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? That's a long time.
It's a long time, yes.
What I know about this council is that they don't like children. They don't want to see them aspire to anything. They just want to assist in getting into a job and paying the council some kind of money, some kind of tax. So they're really not out there for them. So what do you think is the future
for the young people? I think it's a hard one. I don't think there is going to be much of a future for them, to be fair. I know it's sad to say it, but it's just the way that everything is going now. They're like, it's like young people are literally non-existent in the eyes of the powers that be. It's like they have to either just fall in line or get left behind. And that's where it's at. And I think, again, the money's not there to do the job. You know, it's just not there. It's just not there. How we actually got into actually in the schools, this is separate to working with the council sending us kids. How we managed to get into the schools was a young person came to us and said, he don't want to go to school, he wants to come here. And we kind of like investigated, how do we go about it? And then what happened is they said, right, you guys now have to know, you got to at least have your basic teaching. So we all went and learned it. Yeah. You have to have your basic mentoring. So we all went and learned it. Do you know what I mean? So this is all these things. They just keep throwing it at you. Any reason to stop you from being able to engage with these kids, which I understand why, in terms of safeguarding and all of that stuff. I kind of get it. But I think they more use it as a tool to prevent you from...
Put you off, yeah.
Put you off, yeah.
Woman Easy, you got a question, Lloyd? You there, Lloyd?
Did you mute him?
No.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, man, can you?
Yeah, regarding yeah, 'cause I know Charles done a lot of work with the youth thing, right? But my question is, right, I don't know what you guys think, but when I left school, there was wholly some youth clubs, right? All the schools, well, not all of them, but some of them had youth clubs going, right? And that was a meeting point. So I'm thinking, what is the process to opening up a youth club? So there's no youth clubs for the youth to go to. That's why a lot of them end up on the streets. So Charles, if there's a possibility of like running a youth club and then continue what you was doing, mentoring them, you know, keeping off the street with music and all that kind of stuff, couldn't that work?
Well, like I said, it's not even that simple. It could work, but again, it's where do you find the money to do it? Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time and effort. And secondly, it's the amount of red tape that they try to wrap you up in order to make it happen. It's like I've had men saying, you know what, I'm going to start working with some youths and this, that, and the other. But when you get to understand all of the things behind it, like you've got to do your health and safety, your safeguarding, you've got to learn all of these things, and then even like your building that you're going to be doing your work with these kids, you've got to have inspections, you got to do asbestos checks, you've got to do all of these things. And it's just like a minefield, bruv.
And then you're going to have a few people working in different positions in that group.
This is what I'm saying. You've got to have your constitution. You've got to have your... It's a lot of work. And you know what? Sometimes I sit down and I wonder to myself how we managed to hold it together till now.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's hard.
I mean, they've stripped the youth them from their youth clubs, haven't they? They've stripped all those things.
Yeah. We had Millvale Club. We had Beach Hill Club. You know, Beach Hill School. Millvale School had a club. Luton Boys Club. We had the Youth House. You know, you had Farley Hill. They had something up Hightown as well, where that sound called Lord Topper started from. You know, so there was only been youth clubs that the youths could go.
I don't know if you cut out.
But yeah,
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
what I was going to mention as well. I think I'm in agreement with you there, Charles. They make it so difficult. You know what I mean? Just to even navigate the waters. Even, you know what I mean? Because as I said, like what Lloyd was saying, there were youth clubs everywhere.
Yeah,
And I'm sure those youth clubs didn't have to jump through so much red tape just to kind of like have a little activity or doing anything now. Now it's just too much, and people just get disheartened after a while. Isn't it? Either you get worn out, or the people who you started it with, they pull out. You can't get the.
it is hard. And what I find as well
then
is
it just fades away.
I find the local authority, they tend to want to be in control of everything. If you come up with an idea,
and that as well, yeah.
Yeah, you come up with an idea, they want it. It's just weird. It's just some weird behavior, but it's just the way it is. How do you get around it? I seriously don't know.
Yeah. So, Jamrock now, as what are you doing with Jamrock now? If you're not so much working with the mentoring the kids.
Currently, what we're doing, it's just a commercial venture. We're working with the kids currently 1 day a week. Outside of that, it's just a commercial venture.
Mm.
You know, if you want to come and record, you can come and record. So
this is Wellington Street, yeah.
Yeah, Wellington Street. So we've got a podcast suite, so you can come and do your podcasting. We've got a rehearsal space, so for bands and stuff like that, if they want to come and rehearse, they can come do that. And we've got also the recording studio. We're also updating our website. We're going to add like a DJ rehearsal space, so DJ practice room, sorry. So we've installed like a sub and some other stuff. So if they want to come, they can do that. But we'll also kind of throw in live stream. So if they want to live stream their sets, because that's the thing now that
Who do you work with, Charles? Who's your team? What team you got around there?
Do you know what? Currently, in terms of a team, it's myself and I've got about 3 or 4 young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them's my sister's son.
Yeah.
Got a couple of there's 2 young white lads and there's another couple of other young black engineers as well. So there's about 4 or 5 engineers, yeah, and myself.
And what's the capacity of your building?
People capacity.
Said that obviously you got a podcast suite and
I think if it was a band for a band, I could get probably up to about 5-6 piece.
Yeah.
In the space that I got, yeah.
Okay.
The podcast suite I could host up to about, I'd say about 6 people.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And I think that's about it, really.
Because obviously
the recording studio is the recording studio, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the same space we use for the bands is what we'd use for the DJ practice room. So it's just a case of setting up the equipment. They can use it, and then we just pull it down and use it accordingly.
You're still doing you're still recording ads and that for people to put on radio stations and that.
Yeah, I'm still doing them, every now and then. Yeah. I'm still getting. Yeah, we
forgot about that as well. You do that as
yeah.
I remember hearing his voice. I remember hearing his voice regular on the radio station. I'll say, "Yo, Charles, that."
You know, the funny thing is, Lloyd will probably tell you the days of. I think there was a station called Network.
Yeah.
Network FM. Yeah.
Network FM. I think that's where the ads really started.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where the ads really started for me, and that's going back some time.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was another one in Hitchin around the same time. What was the station in Hitchin? Worker, you might know.
In Hitchin.
There was a station in Hitchin at the time.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, because
Network FM, People's FM, Jam FM. No.
Do you remember a guy called Ivan from Hitchin? He was on the one in. Itching. Got the name of the station. Yeah, but I was doing ads for that's. You're talking a long time ago, bro. Yeah. That's mad. But yeah, still doing them, man.
Can I ask a technical question?
Yeah.
So everyone who's a technical man in here, is there a MIDI keyboard I can play a note and transmit it as frequency?
Say again?
Is there a MIDI keyboard that I can play a note and transfer it into a frequency to transmit?
I don't know. You lost me there, man.
Yeah, I don't get what you mean neither. How do you mean into frequency?
Into a frequency. They're all notes are frequencies, but to turn it to attenuate it to a different frequency that can be transmitted as a frequency, not a note.
Might have to Google that one, mate.
So where would that help in what he does round at Jamrock there? Blaps.
Quick one.
I suppose he's just trying to pick my brains to see if I can help him.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Right, so Jamrock now. So because I'm sort of, it's gone past 8 anyway. But yeah, do you want to sort of talk a little bit about this Clash Fraternity idea, what you've just come up with?
Oh, Clash Fraternity TV.
Yeah, before we wrap up.
I watched the Clash. I watched the Clash, what you posted up the other day.
Yeah.
Very good Clash. One of the best Clashes I've seen for a long
time. Again, it's just my love of the whole game. I can't leave it alone. You know what I mean? I just love the whole sound system culture. And it's like before, you know, like I said about the radio, I was saying I couldn't find a station that was, you know, literally that represents the people on the ground. Yeah. I think it's a very similar kind of vibe when it comes to the Sound Clash thing. I feel like Sound Clash to me is a sport, and I'm sure you'll probably all agree. Yeah. But I feel like it's not represented in the best light that it can be. Yeah. If you get what I mean. It's people have Sound Clash down as a bull dance, you know what I mean? And just bare man in there making noise, and you know what I mean? Generally, that's the way people kind of view it. But if they actually saw Sound Clash for what it is, I feel that Sound Clash is a very, very, very lucrative business if it is done correctly. Yeah. That's my view. If it is done correctly. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at Sound Clash as a sport, you would then start to identify leagues. If you looked at it seriously for what it is, you would identify leagues worldwide. You'd identify leagues locally. And if it was managed correctly, you would probably get some huge sponsorship. That's my view on Sound Clash. But I feel like people don't actually see it for what it is. So my thinking is I want to be able to present it in a light that is enjoyable to all, if you get what I mean.
Something like what Red Bull done a few years back with
like what Red Bull done. I mean, again, why should it take someone like Red Bull to try and do that? But again, for them to do it, they thought that they had to mix it up with all these other different cultures, where I don't really feel they have to. If you know what I mean. I feel like we could manage our own situation ourselves if we actually knew what we've got. Yeah. I just don't think we even realize what it is we have.
Isn't that always the same? Always the same way. We don't realize what we have. So and other people take it and make something out of it.
Charles, what does Clash Fraternity actually do? Just in case enough for people who don't really know.
Oh, we go out and we film Sound Clashes. We live stream Sound Clashes. They do it in America. America's been doing it for some time. And I kind of even looked at the American model, and I'm thinking, again, they're literally in the same position. They're streaming it, but there's no structure in how they're going about it. Again, because my son's into videography, I've learned a lot, and he showed me a lot in terms of how to frame your pictures, and you know what I mean, when you're filming, to go down on the ground and get the crowd feel it. I don't know. You watched it the other day, Warwick. I mean,
your
you
style is
actually
more
feel like
your style's more close up and personal. You're in
you feel like you're in the dance rather than a man.
I thought it was quite good.
You know,
I watched it from start to finish, man, and well, my attention deficit ain't really that great. So
yeah, so you
must
can
have been
imagine
doing something right, bruv. You know, because I watched the whole of it.
Yeah, we're working with 4 cameras, so you know what I mean. We're cutting from the crowd to the person to, you know what I mean, a little bit of something what goes on in the dance, and you know, trying to keep people engaged. It's about entertainment, isn't it? And we have to try and present our stuff in the best light we can. That's the way I see things, you know.
Sure.
So from that note, I feel like if we can do that, we're going to attract more people to watch it. And from we can attract more people, we've now got a product. Do you see what I'm saying? We've got a product now that we can actually go to these big corporate sponsors and say, listen, we have X amount of people going to these events. You know, even Jamaica does the Magnum thing. And they film it. Theirs is quite good. They film very well. And obviously they've got their Magnum that sponsors it. Why can't we do something like that in the UK? Why can't we get sponsorship from, I don't know, Heineken, Red Stripe? Why can't we do that in the UK? It's just that we're just shabby in the way we present ourselves.
How's the support from the sound system community in itself with your venture?
I think there's mixed feelings. I think the way things are at the moment, it's like we're trying to find our way through the whole thing, trying to get people to understand what it is we're trying to do. So we're not actually 100% there. I think the mixed feelings comes in where the promoters tend to think you're taking away the revenue from the people coming through the door.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So that's something that we're kind of getting our heads around. How do you convince the promoter that it's good value in the sense of don't watch this event. If you're a promoter and you're looking to make money long term, you need to use this event to sponsor your next event and your next event in terms of showcasing it. That's how you're going to grow. If you ain't got the cameras or the people watching what you're doing, you're literally just performing in a cave, ain't you? If you get what I mean. So you need that exposure. But I understand their point of view in terms of you're taking away money out their pockets, because they see it as if a man's going to spend money to watch it online, they're not going to pay to go into the event. So it's a balancing act. So what we did on the last one, this one what you watched workout, we literally said, well, you know what? We're going to charge near enough the same price as the gate price.
Yeah.
So then it's a case of it's clear that a man wants to go to the dance or he wants to watch it online.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
So how does it work? Do you have to pay the promoter to come in and film, or do you have to give him a cut out of what you take from the street?
This is what we're trying to find the right model, because what we did in the past when we first started, the promoter was paying us. Yeah. But what we found was happening is the promoter was leaving the promotion to the last minute because he felt that he don't want to put it out there too early because it will prevent people from coming.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So again, like I said, it's just time as we move on, we kind of starting to understand how it works. Hence the last one we charged near to the gate price. So that means that we could start promoting with the promoter together as a team.
Yeah.
Because currently, even like when you go onto our mailing list, we've got like about 700 people worldwide.
Wow. That's good.
Do you see what I mean?
That's good.
So we've got something now to say to the promoter. Listen, we've got X amount of people worldwide, and it's not a concentrated area like Luton or London or whatever. You're talking France, America, Jamaica, Canada, all these places where they're into sound clash. We've got people from these areas that when we come to a promoter now, it's a case of, well, we've got this database. We can promote your event for you as well.
Quickly, Blaps asked Mark, which clash did you just watch? That was
a clash over at Lucy Learning Centre. It was London Sound, Gellies, Old Sound, Veteran Sound versus a sound from Birmingham called Moordown.
Yeah.
And it was a very good clash. People are saying it's probably the best clash in it all year, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Best clash for a good while. Big up Bally.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big up Bally, man.
Lloyd,
but this is what I'm saying.
question?
We need to work together to try and grow the thing. It's about growing the whole industry. That's my view on things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lloyd, you want to jump in quickly?
Charles has got a very good point there about setting up a league for sound system, different leagues, because the proof to me is that it can be a lucrative business. The first world clash that I saw, if you guys remember, was when Bodyguard won the first one, didn't they? And then Saxon won the second one.
Yeah.
And there was around 2,000 to 4,000 people at that event, and that was back in what, the late 80s, early 90s.
90s, yeah.
You know, you're getting crowds like that, 2,000 people to 4,000 people. And there was only 3 sound in the dance, or 4 at the most. So it shows you that the audience is there. It's just how it's going to be controlled, you know what I mean? And like Charles said,
right. It's got to be managed.
You got to work with, like Charles said, work with the promoter and the two of you work. But then again, saying that as well, I think the way the sounder present himself as well to the audience.
Well, this is it. This is where I'm talking about sponsorship. You got to look at it. All right, look, Warwick, your brother's into cricket, right? Look what happened when Kerry Packer came along.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from? This is the way we need to view it. Man, them need to be coming out, representing themselves in uniform. They need to create fans that are willing to come out in uniform. So that what happens there is now we're creating revenue amongst ourselves.
Branding, yeah.
It's branding. Do you know what I mean?
It comes down to image again, then basically.
Down to image. It's down to image. We need to start taking pride in what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? That's my view. Because, say for argument's sake, like Luton Town, you're a Luton Town fan, you go to the Luton Town shop and you buy the Luton Town kit. Yeah? So this is the vibes. This is what we need to be on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah? That's my thinking, but...
And as you mentioned, football, Luton Town are at the final to get into the Premier League this Saturday, right? Imagine the amount of people that don't really watch football, but because of that, and because it's done in a way, it's going to attract more people to come along to the final. Same with the sound system, like Charles said, everybody come with a uniform. I've seen sound systems play, and they have their supporters in the crowd wearing their T-shirt.
Yeah, but it's just that it's not it's getting there, but I just feel like we need to bring it to that level because, like, for argument's sake, look at is it I don't know who sponsors Arsenal. Is it Nike?
Emirates.
No, I mean in terms of the kit.
Oh, I don't know. The shirt.
Like you'd have, certain people will sponsor certain people kit, like Adidas, Nike, rare. Why can Soundclash not attract those people to sponsor their kits or their outfits? Why not? Why can't we think along them lines there as people?
True.
But then, would that kind of sterilize it a little bit, make it too corporate, and take the edge off it if it went too far? Because the sponsor would have to really.
It could, in the sense of they certain tunes maybe you can't play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Rare.
Certain speech can't make.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. But again, even if it ain't these guys, we should still be able to make money amongst ourselves. Why not? Why can we not do that? Why can't we have a company where we buy our gear and we sell it back to our fans? Why can't we do this?
True. That's true. True.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's just my view, and I just feel like
a lot of food for thought.
Yeah, man, definitely.
I'm going to give you a closing question. If anyone has anyone else got a question?
There's no hands up. Go ahead, man.
Who has?
No, there's no hands up. You're good.
Okay. So yeah, in closing, Charles.
Yeah.
Luton clash. Who's going to win?
Oh, who's this with? That's with
the three big boy there. The three big boys in Luton. Who's going to win?
So that's Rolex, Scully.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
I'll put Venus in there.
Oh,
I'm not talking about the juggling DJs. I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay, Rolex, Venus. I shouldn't really comment on that because again, because I do what I do, I should really be made impartial.
I'm only teasing. That's another argument for another.
Yeah, we'll have that convo when it's over, innit?
Well, we're staying that neutral.
I could comment on that.
Go on then, Lloyd. Go on.
I'd say for experience in sound system, I'd go with Scully. But for music, I'd say probably Venus. Not disrespecting Rolex, because I know they got tune as well, but Venus are coming good, coming heavy when it comes to music. But I think experience, Scully would take it.
Yeah, Scully's experience still.
Yeah, you've got to take that into consideration.
Venus got tune like, whoa.
But you see, the thing is, the problem is here. You need to understand. You know this, I know this. It just take one tune and I sound dead.
For real, even a 45.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter who you are.
Yeah, true.
Because look at this. Hey, worker, you see the more than clash, yeah?
Yeah.
Despite you saying Andrew Fresh and what you call them, Gellies took the dance, in your opinion.
Yeah.
The biggest forward for the night was actually more than that tune General B.
That's right.
And that's a simple tune.
Yeah, but then it's not
killer rhythm, innit? Killer dancehall rhythm, no. Killer 90s dancehall rhythm.
Yeah, but it's what you know what it was for me? It was the way that he connected the lyrics to the tune.
To the argument that he had with
the argument.
It's not about what you've got. It's not about what clothes you've got, innit?
Yeah. That's right. You remember that?
I remember seeing that. It looked bad.
You know, for about a good 2 weeks, that clip was circulating after that clash.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's talking about. That one tune.
But I thought Gelly's done great when he drawn Man Is Just a Man, innit? Garnet Silk 45.
Yeah, he did.
Bam.
He did, but it's just, again, like I said, it's the way that my man connected the speech to the tune was spot on.
Yeah, he dropped it right.
And a simple tune at that.
Yeah. He did. He dropped
you know what I mean? Normally, it's the 90s. Them tunes are just gimmick tune, innit?
Yeah. And he's not like
money now and you point sonny. That's a gimmick tune.
Yeah, he's not like he was the biggest DJ for the 90s either, was he?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But that done the dance.
Yeah, but sometimes the speech can do it as well, Sometimes the speech can do it because I see Rolex when they clash with More Than, right? And More Than tell Rolex, wait a sec, you're coming to sound business when you're old. So Rolex said, yeah, man, well, look how much picking me out your road. Because so long may I play sound, you could be one of me picking them. that got a massive forward from the crowd.
Big up further, Sean.
Yeah.
Sean represent that night, man. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yes, right. It's interesting.
Thank you so much for your time.
No worries, brother. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, man.
I just feel like, as people, we need to start to elevate, brother. That's it. That is it. We need to think outside the box. We should never think we can't.
Yeah, true.
Don't think you can't. Always say you can. My mum brought me up to never say no. Can't. That's a word that wasn't used in our house, man. Don't use that word can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see your mum. I see your mum with a starring role in the Windrush video.
Oh, you're joking. You know?
Big up Bilal. Yeah, man.
Bilal.
I tell you what, big up you guys.
Mummy, you know.
Big up you guys. Big up you guys.
You know what? It's true. I have to give it to her though. She's a serious woman because she grow enough of us on her own, and as you can see, she's very strong. And I think a lot of that has kind of rubbed off on me in the way I am. Yeah. You just keep going, man. Just don't stop.
You know one thing I love about your mum, innit? She ain't one of them miserable old women ever. Nah. She's got a bit of vibes. She's got vibes in her still. You know?
Vibes, yes.
Just keeps going. She just keeps going.
Yeah, she ain't one of them push-up people, innit? She's even got photos of her holding up the Mandem chat banner and everything.
Yeah, that's
right. Is it?
Yeah, man. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job, you know. I've been watching some of the videos. I mean, I watched one. I didn't know Scrumptious was so
It is good. It's good.
Yeah, because come back on, man. Come on. We're here every Wednesday till end of September, man. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like you're saying is that you see around us, we've got a lot of hidden gems, man, and we need to kind of bring them out.
That's why we try to keep it as local as possible. We keep it as local as possible. We don't. Yeah, we've got to try and dig out all of these local people before. Yeah, because we could go and draw for some bigger names and.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in Luton, and don't forget, right? At one time they used to rate us as country, right? But the amount of talent we got in the Luton now, that's getting known worldwide. Luton's known for talent. Music, whether it's music or whatever, you know what I mean? There's a lot of talent, but it's just not getting the exposure. So what you guys are doing, you know, keep it up, man. Keep up, bringing in the people who do the business so that they can tell their story. So that
man, I highlight them, yes.
Man.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Big entrepreneur, man.
No worries, man. Thanks, man.
Respect, guys.
Yeah, man.
Love my brother.
Bless up. Bless, man. Bless.